Hi, John Lay from Talented Learning, here with a hot take on Totara. I would say Totara LMS, but it's no longer Totara LMS. It is now TotaraLearning.com because the product has really expanded past just learning. And Totara is one of just a handful, a small, teeny handful of open systems, open learning systems in the corporate market. Open systems in the academic market with Moodle, for example, have been around for a long time, and that market is much more comfortable with open source technology. And corporate space is certainly comfortable with open source, but it just hasn't really been there in learning technologies. But now it is, and it has so much advantage, as you'll see. If I just got off an hour executive briefing with the Totara team, learning about all of these updates. And there's a lot of updates. First off, the whole UI has been shined up. It looks much more modern, tile-based, adaptive, clean than it used to. The LMS portion, or the Learn portion, is strong. It is, it's based in fundamental blocking and tackling learning management systems. So really good at doing the formal type training that you would expect of compliance, and certification, and recertification paths, and understanding who employees are, and putting them into groups, and automatically assigning that training based on group membership, moving in and out of groups. That's all strengths of Totara. Managing any type of content, from SCORM or XAPI, bringing in videos, managing seminars, and managing virtual events. So, taking your online, your trade shows or event-based place where you used to bring thousands or hundreds of people to a central location, to be able to, do that virtually now, with having different sessions, having different things that learners can register for, and so moving that experience online. So they're providing a lot of the capabilities to help you focus on that virtual aspect. But then they threaded in all kinds in the Engage product, which is essentially an alternative to an LXP and Slack and Workspace of having your content be tied to playlist and be tied to social, be able to see what other people are learning and recommending, and like and share it and comment on it. And so it starts to bring that flavor of being able to see what's important and trending and recommended content in your audience based on machine learning, and serving that up in a really engaging way. And so they're kind of marrying the whole concept of learn in the flow of work with the learning management technology. And I have a lot of ands in this hot take, and they've now laid on performance support. Perform product, but it's basically performance management. So the ability to have corporate and individual goals and have that cascade and roll down, the ability to have performance appraisals and have that be just a performance appraisal for myself, or have my manager, or the full 360 type ratings on that, as well as check-ins and things like that you can do, so that performance appraisals just aren't a one-time of a year thing, but really an opportunity maybe every quarter or every month even to work with your manager or whoever to build that skill set. And so you can now earn skills based on completion of content or being manually assigned content. So they've really automated a lot of the performance management. So organizations, for example, that are on Saba, now being asked to go to Cornerstone, or even on Cornerstone, you have to license both the performance management and the LMS portions of the product. And now Totara, with bringing this together, is really competing against that marketplace that many of the learning management providers always stop short of the skills and the competencies in performance management. But not Totara. They embrace that, so they're fighting a competitive fight, going right after the big boys with their talent learning system. And in fact, they call it a talent experience platform now, is the actual way to phrase it. But the thing that I like the best is one of the shortcomings I thought of Totara was always the lack of multi-tenant capabilities. Because in extended enterprise, what I really love, you need to manage your employees different than your customers, and not all customers the same, and different than your external partner and channel providers, and your gig workers. So you had different user populations that would use the application differently. Well, now Totara can do that through the use of their multi-tenant program, split those audiences, nest audiences, centrally have content that you share out to those audiences, but also allow those audiences to have their own delegated administration that can add or update users either one by one or en masse, as well as add their own content into the learning management system or into the learn part, and as well as have all the performance and the engage capabilities, collaborative capabilities threaded throughout. So now the platform has really went from being monolithic to now being the sky's the limit on how many different audiences that you can have to treat differently. And so that makes it really solid for any B2B and any B2B2B scenario inside learning management. So there you have it. There's my hot take on the Totara LMS. If you're paying outrageous license fees, if you need more service because you'd rather pay less of your budget towards license and more towards creating content and ancillary services, and if you want to maybe sunset some pretty expensive software now that you have to make a change, you ought to be looking at Totara as a cost-effective solution that's now pretty darn powerful with different applications of extended enterprise, pure e-commerce, or employee-type talent experience platform. So there you have it, folks. Go check them out at purposeLMS.com. And we'll see you on the next hot take. Have a great day.